Chinese President Xi Jinping is learning some bitter diplomacy lessons from the recent Ethiopia episode. Jinping thinks that whoever is not a US ally automatically becomes a Chinese ally and adds up to Beijing's world domination dreams. This is how international analysts too tend to think. They often confuse the vacuum being left behind by the USA in the Middle East and North Africa region and other parts of the world as an opportunity for China to shore up its influence. Yet, we are not living in the bipolar Cold War era. There is no bloc politics happening here. In a multipolar world, there are a number of regional and global powers competing with each other in different parts of the world. So, if the US is not welcomed in a particular region, it does not automatically allow China to find a foothold. And Egypt has demonstrated this brilliantly. Hi and welcome. You're watching TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm Siddharth, your host. In this video, I will talk about Egypt foiling China's mission Goodwill in Ethiopia with its charm offensive. Let's begin. So, Biden has lost his Ethiopia battle. The US president was looking to support the Tigray People's Liberation Front or the TPLF and destabilize Ethiopia in order to shore up his own influence in the Horn of Africa. But with Djibouti refusing to allow an attack on Ethiopia from the US military base in the country, and not much happening on the Sudan front either, Ethiopians have managed to push back against American interference. Now, there are no talks about Addis Ababa falling or Ethiopia getting ravaged by TPLF forces. Meanwhile, China attempted to capitalize on the American defeat with a Goodwill mission to the African country. However, its desperate attempt has been foiled by the Egyptians. Ethiopians have won their own battle against Joe Biden with support from the Emiratis. However, China tried to project Ethiopia's victory as its own victory in an attempt to penetrate its influence into security and military sectors in the Horn of Africa. Chinese Foreign Minister even visited Ethiopia on December 1 and met his Ethiopian counterpart Demeke Mekonnen. At a press conference, Wang Yi tried to play the big brother and said that his country rejects any foreign interference in Ethiopia's internal affairs. He also said that China opposed any attempts to impose external political interests on the African country's domestic issues and fervently supports the Ethiopian government and Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. A desperate Wang Yi was acting as if it was China that fought Ethiopia's battle against external powers and protected the African country. For China, Ethiopia is an extremely crucial player in the African continent. According to the China-Africa Research Initiative at Johns Hopkins University, Ethiopia borrowed $13.7 billion of the $148 billion in loans that Beijing has doled out to the continent from 2000 to 2018. China has established deep business interests in the African country with investments of over $1.5 billion. Make no mistake, China has made extensive investments in Ethiopia, and it feels that now is the time to extract the maximum possible leverage out of the African country. This explains Wang Yi's rather unusual remarks during his Ethiopia visit. While China tried to expand its influence in the region, the Emiratis, who supported the Ethiopian government against the TPLF forces, don't want any foreign power, including China, to exercise greater influence in the Horn of Africa. The UAE and its allies, like Egypt, are more concerned about retaining substantial influence in countries like Ethiopia. Therefore, Egypt has cancelled out Wang Yi's attempts to associate China deeply with Ethiopia's fight back against the US-backed TPLF. Egyptian figures actually rushed to criticize Wang Yi's Ethiopia visit. Major General Ahmed al-Awadi, chairman of the Egyptian Parliamentary Committee on Defense and National Security, stressed that his country rejects any move that would undermine peace and stability in the region. Awadi made it clear that picking any side in the Ethiopian-Egyptian conflict would lead to chaos in the region and make Egypt angry. He further warned that any such attempt would destabilize the region and adversely affect the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam or GERD conflict. Egypt's remark ended up striking panic in the strategic circles in Beijing. Egypt showed that it was miffed by Beijing's attempt to get too close to Ethiopia and subtly suggested that any such attempt could strain the Sino-Egyptian relations. From China's perspective though, Addis Ababa is an important partner with a pivotal role in the Horn of Africa. However, Cairo is no less important as Egypt has the capability of becoming a regional stronghold as a country that links Northeast Africa with the Middle East. Egypt is also a strong pillar of investment in the African continent, and China wants to stay on good terms with Cairo because of its ability to exert influence in both the African continent and the Middle East. This is why immediately after Awadi's remarks, Chinese ambassador to Cairo, Liao Liqiang, reassured Cairo and recognized Egypt as a major strategic partner in many fields. Li Qiang affirmed that his country will expand cooperation with Egypt. China thus stands warned about how it cannot take its relationship with Ethiopia too far. Meanwhile, the Emiratis keep exploring the possibility of expanding their relationship with Addis Ababa. This helps the UAE maintain some sort of a primacy in the Horn of Africa region, while limiting China's role to the extent of Egypt's sensitivities. Egypt has thus helped the UAE foil China's Goodwill mission to Ethiopia with its own charm offensive. Egypt has cancelled out such attempts. The Arab allies have a simple logic. They want to maintain their influence in the region and won't allow external powers like China to come in and eat into their influence.